G'day guys, okay, Slothface here, back with a survival video. Now, the first thing I got asked when I said I'm putting a survival video out on Friday was, do you even play survival? So I feel like I need to actually prove that I do play survival so that I have any credibility in this video whatsoever. This is my passes for Aberrus. As you can see, played survival back then. I haven't done in the Awakened season, but back in survival, in when Aberrus was current, yes, I played survival. There, my passes for survival. Also played survival in basically the second half of Shadowlands, in the Sepulchral raid, and season 4 as well, obviously in Shadowlands. I also played quite a bit of survival in Mythic Plus in season 2 and 3, which I haven't got right in front of me. Let me quickly bring that up. So season 3, here's my season 3 keys that I did, 28s and some stuff like that. But my 26s were done on survival. And in season 2, I played a bit of survival as well. I think I did some 25s. So I've done some, mid-high keys as survival in Dragonflight. I've raided, and I've raided last expansion as well. Okay, getting into the tree. Let's have a look at my notes here, and let's see what we're going to talk about. So the tree has changed how you play survival a bit in regards to rotation, spell priority, things like that will feel different. However, the spec as a whole feels the same. You're still pushing the same buttons. You'll still got the same amount of movement, right? It's going to feel like survival, but just how to min-max it is a bit different, and that mainly is to do with new spenders and tip of the spear. So here's tip of the spear, and this is now one of like the core gameplay talents for survival, where kill command increases the damage of your other spells by 15%, stacking up to 3 times. So you get these tip of the spear stacks on you when you cast kill command. And then your other abilities spend these stacks to buff those spells, but they only spend 1 stack at a time, right? So you're not buffing things by 30 and 45%, and you're not kill commanding 3 times and then using 1 bomb, right? You're just weaving these in to keep some stacks of tip of the spear, and then using them to have a lot of damage in your other spells. And then this buffs tip of the spear to 30% depending on your crit strike rating. So I don't know exactly how much crit you need to have to get this to 30%. It obviously caps at 30%. At the moment, on beta here, just in like pretty standard gear, like I haven't like been farming dungeon gear, I have 32% crit, and my tip of the spear stacks give 23% damage on the next one. So I don't think you need a huge amount of crit to be getting that to 30%. I think it's going to cap out fairly easily in decent, maybe heroic raid gear or something like that. You're going to get this to 30%. So tip of the spear will be likely doing somewhere between 25 and 30% extra damage per on every spell when you use a stack of it. And you're generating these stacks with kill command. You're also generating them with flanking strike. Flanking strike is a spender now. It uses focus. It has been buffed so that it feels like a big old smacky spender, and it generates 2 stacks of tip of the spear, but it also gets 15% bonus, like more bonus damage to flanking strike from tip of the spear. So it's buffed by tip of the spear and generates tip of the spear. And to make that not super complicated, they have had it consume its own stacks. So if I kill commanded and then used flanking strike, I would gain 1 stack of tip of the spear. I would hit with flanking strike. Flanking strike first generates 2 stacks of tip of the spear and then uses 1 to buff itself. So I would go to from 1 stack, 3 stacks, and down to 2 stacks. Okay, so that's if you use it in that order. If you don't have any tip of the spear stacks when you use flanking strike, it generates the 2 stacks first and then uses 1 on itself to buff itself, so that you're you're not wasting a flanking strike if you don't have any tip of the spear buffs off, because obviously it gets even more bonus damage from tip of the spear, so it's pretty user friendly in that way because it generates them first and then spends it on itself. So that's nice. Okay. That is how tip of the spear works, and how flanking strike works is now a spender. Wildfire bomb is now also a spender. Costs 10 focus. It's not hugely noticeable, in that all I mean by that, it's a small amount of focus. Okay, they've not made it 30 focus like Mongoose Bite or anything. But it does smooth things out because you have a lot of focus at the moment. You have a lot of focus generation. You're using a lot of kill commands, generating 15 focus every kill command. So if you're just like casting kill command to get a tip of the spear stack and then casting bomb, you're actually gaining focus if you're just pushing these 2 abilities, right? If you're casting kill command and flanking strike and wildfire bomb, you really need to be pushing butchery and mongoose bite to be spending focus and getting your focus down so that you're not overcapping, right? These are your 2 bigger spenders. These 2 being spenders doesn't really lower your focus much at all. Okay, so let's talk about the sections of the new tree. It's looking very nice. They've taken Harpoon and Aspect of the Eagle out of the tree, which were like on these edge pieces here. So it's looking very spear shaped, which is also quite aesthetic. Sections of the tree. Here you've got sort of the bombs plus flanking strike side. Here you've got the mongoose plus kill command side. You've got Serpent Sting chucked in here with a cleave node underneath it, so that you get your Serpent Sting, it's passively applied, which is nice, and then you can cleave it here. Here you get your Flanking Strike, which is now a pretty core ability, and underneath it cleaves. And then more bomb stuff around the outside. In the center, you've got your AoE kit, which is the same on all 3 spec trees for Hunter now. And then your 3 kind of capstone areas are, you've got Spearhead down this side, which is now basically a 1 minute cooldown bleed plus a crit damage crit strike thing. Here you got Fury of the Eagle, which is exactly the same as on live, and then in the center we got Coordinated Assault with 2 different talents underneath to buff it. We're not talking about those right now, we're talking about the rest of the tree. Okay, so how do you cleave? You now only got Butchery, no option to use Carve. That's fine. And then you've got sort of 2 cleave nodes underneath it, which is after Butchery, your next Mongoose Bite hits 3 targets. Cool, I'll hit 3 targets. There's a bit of 3 target stuff in this tree now. You've got this, which spreads Serpent Sting to 2 additional targets. You've got this, which makes Butchery activate Raptor Strike / Mongoose Bite to hit 3 targets. And you've got this, which makes Flanking Strike hit 2 additional targets and makes your next kill command hit 2 additional targets. So if you're on a 3 target cleave, You got 1, 2, 3. You know, obviously you need butchery as well. Big buttons that are going to hit 2 additional targets and do big 3 target damage. So that's cool. And then this, you've got Frenzy Strikes, which is reducing the cooldown of Wildfire Bomb and of Flanking Strike by 1 second per butchery. So that's nice as well. So this is kind of your cleave kit here in the center. Then you've got 2 additional targets here, 2 additional targets here. And obviously, Explosive Shot is a big part of your AoE toolkit in from the class tree. And Bomb. Obviously, all the bomb stuff is going to cleave. We have a lot of passive cleave as a survival hunter, so that feels really good. Okay. I feel like the issues with... Because in their blue post they talked about the focus economy and the GCD economy. And it was that we had a lot. We had everything all the time. We had 100 buttons to push. You could always push Mongoose Bite. You could almost always push Bomb. There was always kill commands up. There was always resets of explosive shots in your face, and there was lots of things to push, and it was a bit like everything happening all the time, and it didn't have much flow. I kind of still feel like that's a little bit of an issue. Bomb doesn't cost very much focus. You still have a lot of focus because you're generating a lot of focus through kill command. You still have a lot of things popping up. You don't have a lot of time to like spam Mongoose Bite, it doesn't feel. So yeah, there's still some stuff to work on there. And that's okay, but yeah, they'll get there, I'm sure. I'm not too worried about it. It's just something to think about. Now, there's another tiny issue with playing survival where there's sometimes you can be too close to the mobs for your ranged abilities to go off. So if I flanking strike, I get quite close, and I kind of want to move back a bit so that kill shot goes off. If I am this close, I find that sometimes my kill shots and my explosive shots won't go off, because it says like can't cast that now or something strange. So there's a bit of a bug, and it's usually when you flanking strike in, you get put like underneath the mob. Perhaps they fix it, because actually I only got put to there. So that's that other little note I had. But okay, we talked about survival. I wanted to do that section of the video so that we kind of talked about it as a spec, but now I'm going to go through my feedback notes on it and what I think would be good updates or what needs to be looked at with this tree. There are 2 links in here that don't feel great to do. So as you go through, you kind of get all of this, and then you pretty much get all of this, or you could miss out one of these, but let's not. Okay, and then to get Bloodseeker and to get Grenade Juggler, I have to get the one directly above it, and it just doesn't feel that great to pass through things this like all the way to the edge here and here. There's less flexibility in the tree with this current angle here. And what I mean is that the only way you get Bloodseeker is through terms of engagement. The only way you get Grenade Juggler is through Wildfire Infusion. What I would like to see is this arrow here swap to go the other way and go from improved Wildfire Bomb to Grenade Juggler, right? Making this an optional path and then this the optional other path. There's no time where you're going to spec like this and you're going to go over here to Wildfire Infusion and then down, and you're going to miss out on just 8% bomb damage. It just doesn't, it's such a standard talent, and this is maybe a sometimes talent. So it feels like if you swap this arrow to the other direction, there's more flexibility in the tree. So I'd like to see improve Wildfire Bomb connect to Grenade Juggler and have this deleted. And I would like to see Alpha Predator connect to Bloodseeker and not have to get Terms of Engagement to get Bloodseeker, so that I can pass from Flanker's Advantage to Alpha Predator to Bloodseeker and down. And this would be then a completely optional talent, which would feel a lot better, I think. So if this angle was this way, this angle was this way, that would be, I think it would be slightly better tree for that. Another big issue with this trees is quick shot. So I've done some testing, I've hit a dummy for a long time, done some dungeons, and this barely procs. It just barely procs. I think I was like, I did a 3 or 4 minute DPS on a dummy at one stage, and it cast Arcane Shot like 5 or 6 times or something very small. It was pretty disappointing. I wonder if it's still on here. Here is a 6.5 minute, 6:26 that says. And how many arcane shots? 7. 7 arcane shots in 6.5 minutes. Now, I did have sulfur line pockets on, so every 3 quick shots is replaced with an explosive shot. So let's imagine those 7 arcane shots are 1, 2, and then it procced again for an explosive shot instead, right? 3, 4, and then it procced again for this. 5, 6, and it procced again, and 7. So that means it procced 10 times in 7 minutes. That's pretty sad and pretty low for like being so high up in the tree. And I feel like no one's going to want to take these 2 talents. They're just low value when you can path completely around them, get everything else you want, keep going down, and you can get these like other cleave talents and stuff with this, and you don't have to get these. Just these numbers need to come up. I think when kill command's cooldown is reset, should be a higher chance to fire an arcane shot. It just feels really underwhelming to check a 7-minute combat and have this be the arcane shots did like 0.2%. I know that there's explosive shots in there, you know, and I know explosive shot does a lot of damage, but this is 16 explosive shots in that 6.5 minutes, and 3 of them were from those 2 talent points. I don't know if that's good. It just feels like this could be higher. And like, you would never take quick shots and not take sulfur line pockets. Like, this on its own would be a dreadful talent. Imagine 10 arcane shots in 6.5 minutes, and that's all you did. Like, it is only good because this is a potential. This is terrible. So, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about numbers, but it feels like the proc rate is a bit low, and firing some arcane shots is pretty sad. Yeah, I also feel like is there a concern for this with being like, am I going to have to get a weak aura that counts to 3 so that I know when an explosive shot's coming out? Or has a chance to come out? What if I'm attacking one target and I don't want to kill the target next to it at all? Kill command's cooldown reset is just going to eventually like fire out an explosive shot and kill the target next to it that I don't want to kill. I don't know. This could be... I feel like these 2 talents are a little bit problematic. It's a bit too complicated. It's not got that much reward, and Yeah, that's my feedback for that. Coordinated assault, it's still a bit of a strange cooldown. You charge the enemy, which I don't think a coordinated assault needs to charge. I like spearhead charging, but the fact that they both charge is like makes them feel a bit samey to me. You charge the enemy, bleeding your target for blah damage over 10 seconds. You charge the enemy, striking them for damage. It feels a little bit too similar. I would like coordinated assault to not charge. Maybe coordinated assault, when you push it, throws an explosive shot or something. Maybe it's like a little bit different than spearhead, so it feels like a different button. Because it looks and feels like the same button. You can even give them the same cooldown of 1 minute. Like, let's have coordinated assault feel a little bit more unique. And then, because this charge was added at the same time as well, like they both just got given a charge. Oh no, it's strange. So again, it's your pet's basic attacks empower your next spell, increases the damage of Wildfire Bomb, or gives Kill Shot a bleed. Now, we've lost the what was the Eagle talent for this? The Hawk thing on live, which made Kill Shot hit like 4 targets or 5 targets or something. We've lost that talent, right? It's not here. So we're not getting the quadruple Kill Shot bleed thing that we did get, but we're probably gonna want to buff Wildfire Bomb with this on AoE and Kill Shot with this on single target. I feel like that's going to require some complicated macros to pull off, right? Again, Coordinated Assault is a strangely designed talent. Why does it say a 1 minute cooldown right now? Oh, because I've still got this active. But yeah, there we go. Okay, so yeah, it's a 1 minute cooldown with this talent. Sorry, it's usually a 2 minute cooldown. If I change that to that, it'll go to 2 minutes. So it's a strange cooldown to push. At the moment on live, when you push it, you turn off your pet's basic attacks, and then you macro those basic attacks into whichever spell you want to buff, be it Kill Shot or Wildfire Bomb. Usually it was Kill Shot, because of the Birds of Prey. While its active Kill Shot can be used on targets regardless of their health, yeah. It's just they didn't simplify this enough. They simplified Spearhead, which is great. This needs a little bit of a redesign so that it doesn't require 3 different macros to optimize. I don't want to have to turn off my pet's basic attack autocast, then macro it into different abilities depending on the fight and the situation, and then once Coordinated Assault ends, have to turn my pet's basic attack autocast back on, which is what all survival hunters are doing right now to optimize this. So I'd really like to see Coordinated Assault change slightly to alleviate that situation, and I'd like to see the charge removed off of Coordinated Assault and have something else happen. Now, this is really the only thing in the tree that lets you Kill Shot something that's not an Execute. Both the other trees, as in BM and Marksman, have something like a Death Blows and Hunter's Prey, which can proc spontaneous kill shots to come up and be, used on targets at any health percentage. I'm not saying that survival needs to have that, but it does have this talent. Kill Shot critical strikes reset the cooldown of kill command. I don't see how that is very synergistic with the rest of the tree at all. It synergizes with coordinated assault, but do I want this to reset the cooldown of kill command? I don't really feel like I do. I've got enough things resetting kill command. It's not a big enough payoff to wait for a kill shot, which is seldom cast. It's an execute talent, or it's cast 3 or 4 times in coordinated assault, and there's no other talent proccing kill shots to use at a different time to synergize with this. And the only payoff is that I get another kill command. Honestly, I'm casting so many kill commands right now. Like, everything resets kill command. There's things over here that reset kill command. This bloody resets kill command. This, like, I don't know, this Sikkim talent feels out of place, and it feels like it needs friends to be any good whatsoever. It needs something that gives you a chance to proc a kill shot, and then it needs a better payoff than just giving me another kill command. You know, maybe it makes my next kill command generate 3 stacks of tip of the spear or something. Or maybe it resets the cooldown of flanking strike, or like something more powerful. But I don't think anyone's going to get this. It's not going to proc that often in an entire fight. It's going to proc maybe twice during coordinated assault, and then in the last 20% of a fight. And you're going to get another. This might be another 6 or 7 kill commands in a whole fight. Like, it's pretty unexciting. So this talent needs to be looked at. It needs to be given friends, and it needs a bigger payoff. So that's a little bit disappointing. Everything else is kind of just numbers, so I don't really need to talk about it. It's like, it's then about working out how to play this new version optimally, and whether that feels good or not, and that can be done by the experts on when sims are available, etc, etc. I think it's a great tree. I think it's a great spec. It feels really fun to play. I actually really like it with this on pack leader. Cornered prey feels really cool to use with it. Some of these things are a bit bugged. This just does, the sentinel just does too much damage right now, so you have to pick that. But hopefully that'll change and they'll get balanced a bit. I will be talking about all the hero talents trees in videos in the future. Hopefully within the next couple days I get around to that. That would be really good. Other than that, very happy with survival. I'm going to quickly go through my points again to summarize. We've got the links from Terms of Engagement to Viper's Venom being changed from Alpha Predator to Bloodseeker. Just change this arrow and go whoop that way, and this one go whoop that way. That would be good. That would be an improvement. Quick shot feels really bad. Sulfur line pockets is fine, but it does like three explosive shots every 6.5 minutes. So this is pretty underwhelming. It needs its proc chance to go way up, in my opinion, for it to feel good. Coordinated assault design is still really janky. It requires macros and auto casts being turned on and off, and do I buff bomb now or kill shot now, or what macro do I use? And then I got to remember to turn my basic attack autocast back on at the end of it, which means I need a weak aura to tell me to turn it back on, and yeah, it's pretty unfun. And then Sikkim is the other problem. Doesn't have enough upside and doesn't have enough opportunity to proc, because there's no Death Blows style talent in this tree anywhere. So those few things I think would improve this, and then it will get improved over time with the focus economy, etc. Alright, thank you for listening to my survival video. Survival is super fun. I recommend you try it out on the beta. I love it. Sentinel's too strong, nerf Sentinel. Okay, have a great day everybody. I will catch you soon. Good luck, have fun, GG. Oh, also, I'm going to post all of this on the forum, which I'll link in the description. Bye!